Hey, Gig, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Jake. Hey, congratulations on this new short film, Breakout.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, really excited to be doing the festival circuit and especially at Cleveland International Film Festival.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that Cleveland International Film Festival. To be selected to a film festival like that is quite an achievement. I mean, how do you feel about showcasing your short films at these film festivals?
Yeah, I mean, in general, the film festivals, you kind of don't know what you're getting into. This is my first time. It's my first film. So getting into these film festivals, it's always kind of a new experience. Not sure what to expect in terms of the other films that are going to be in the block, but definitely really excited for the Cleveland Film Festival since it's kind of my hometown film festival that I grew up going to. So really excited to showcase it there.
Most excellent. So Jake, we always have to ask that question is where the original idea came from for Breakout.
Yeah, so Breakout, I had thought about probably around COVID times. A lot of things were shut down. I'm a comedian, so my life had always been stand up and doing improv and things like that. But when everything kind of shut down, it kind of forced me to kind of expand what I was doing in terms of writing. And I thought I had an interesting story to tell about my experience with acne and being on some pretty powerful medications for acne. So I wrote it around COVID time, and we eventually filmed it about 2.5 years later. And it was a great experience, and I learned a lot on the way, and could not be more proud with how it turned out.
So this true story was based upon your own experiences, but which part of your life that this was actually based on? Because just by watching you here, it cleared up pretty well.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I always tell people that there are there's thousands of others that have extreme acne, and I know that I got pretty lucky with how my face cleared up. My experience was in college, just as our character Miles was in Breakout, and yeah, it took a long time for it to actually clear up, and even what you're seeing now is just been a lot. I mean, I've been moisturizing now. I take really good care of my skin. It was, it's gone through a lot. I have a lot of broken capillaries and whatnot, but yeah, after that, it still took a long time for my skin even to get to its, recovery phase, even to what it is now. So it took a long time, but yeah, that was in my college years.
Now, the development of the character Miles, because you could totally relate to this character through the insecurity issues and also the declining mental health. Could you talk about that on how, acne or breakouts like this can actually affect a person?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's anybody that is kind of going through an acne experience, or I think any sort of body image type insecurities. I think you're always really insecure about yourself, especially with acne. You feel like everybody's only staring at your breakouts that you have on your face, and it's really easy to silo yourself and become super introverted. And that was my experience in college. I was as much as I wanted to make friends and talk with new circles. I was way too insecure to go to parties or make a new friend. So it's really debilitating, and nobody gets to kind of see that on the surface. And I think that that's what we tried to showcase in Breakout, which to kind of show the struggle of a kid that really wants to engage with social groups, but also knows that he really can't because he's just so debilitated by his acne and how he perceives himself.
Did you break out, no, using the term loosely, broke out this out of this trend of isolation and being an introvert due to the end of the acne, or did you basically discover other ways?
Yeah, so for me, I think it was really a really interesting time. When my skin got cleared, it wasn't like just a switch like that. It actually kind of took a while for me to feel comfortable and like I had my legs beneath me. In a way, it kind of paused time for a second. I felt like going through this acne treatment, I wasn't able to maybe develop the way that some other kids did in college and get a good understanding of who they were. So I felt like even when my skin was clear, I wasn't outgoing by any means, and it probably, took another 3 months on top of that just to kind of feel like I can kind of go out in the world again. And it wasn't until I did stand-up comedy that I kind of felt really like I kind of reinvented myself or like a reawakening, if you will.
Now, tell us about the medication that's kind of like portrayed in this film. Are they like very strong and with side effects like as indicated?
It is very strong. Yeah, the medication is Accutane, and it's known for having super strong side effects. It's also known for being one of the most effective medications, but you'll see side effects from, mood swings all the way up to depression and potential suicidal thoughts. So it's all over the board in terms of types of side effects you can get. You can get chronic itching, which is one of the other ones that I had, lower back pain and upper back pain. So the side effects range from your nose to your toes, and it really affects everybody differently.
Can you explain the decision to star in your own short film in this case?
Yeah, so I think for me, I knew that I wanted to film it back home. I wanted to have ideally snow. And so I never thought that I would film it in Los Angeles. And I also just didn't know if I could trust someone enough to give the performance. I would have had to cast from, all the way in LA to Cleveland, and I just felt like I didn't know if I could give this to another lead to do it justice, and I felt I also just felt really confident in myself that I could portray this character Miles the way that I wanted to. So part of me really wanted to do it to myself to prove it that I could do it, and I felt like it was my story to tell, and it was something that I really wanted to do myself.
Isn't it tough to relive through this experience for yourself?
Totally. Yeah. That was a big factor in even trying to move forward with this thing is that I would have to potentially relive the most traumatic moments in my life. And it's not just the script, it's also putting this makeup on for all the scenes of having extreme acne. And even that was uh, pretty tough to deal with being on campus and seeing the looks that I had when I had extreme acne and kind of reliving all of those moments was pretty surreal to kind of have to be put back in the shoes of Myles, put back in the place that I was in college. So I would say that was also like a really tough part that maybe I didn't anticipate as much as I thought was kind of being back in the shoes of someone that was living with really extreme acne, which was something I didn't anticipate and was pretty crazy to live again.
I was going to say, putting yourself in that mental state, how do you turn that off for yourself at the end of the day?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I would say it was extremely emotionally draining just filming this from an actor's perspective, having to relive all this, have to go back and put myself in the shoes of somebody that's desperate to have confidence and self-esteem. I think that was really part to disconnect after, a super long day of filming, and then that you have to go back and do it the next day and the next day and the next day. Really, really tough to disconnect, I think, the two. And I just got through it. I don't know if I have a secret sauce to how I did it, but yeah, I think that was a really tough component of this from an actor's perspective.
Now, you mentioned previously before about the makeup effects. Could you tell us about your makeup artist on how they pulled it off for you?
Yeah, so we had two makeup artists, Elena Carr and Jenna Cooper. I had to kind of have them do auditions from LA, and they kind of sent me a mock that they would put on their hand, and I think even their face as well to kind of see what it would look like. It was a difficult process because it's not just regular makeup, this is special effects. And so I had to find two, I knew I was going to have to get two people just for scheduling. I knew it was probably going to be a week-ish of filming, and so that was a difficult part of the casting process or hiring process, I guess, in terms of crew, was making sure that we had two special effects artists that were able to also look very similar. We didn't wanted to make sure that whatever was on my face, it wasn't going to look crazy different from artist to artist, especially because they were splitting shifts essentially. So that was another unforeseen challenge. I've never worked with a special effects artist before. It was always just regular makeup artists, but they crushed it. They did a great job, and a difficult part, but yeah, they were awesome.
So I'm assuming it's easier to take off that makeup than put on the acne medication, right?
For sure. Yeah. That was another part. Yeah. It was some of it took a while to get off, but yeah, it was each day having to scrub those things really well. And my face also was like very sensitive from from the Accutane treatment. So even just taking off this really strong makeup was left my face pretty red.
I'm glad there weren't any side effects from
Yeah, no,
this
no, no.
stress. And overall, I understand that this was your first film, as you indicated before. What was that overall experience for you?
Um, it was an awesome experience. I learned so much from, writing, directing, and kind of all the logistics that come with all the producing. It was very stressful, totally rewarding, but it was I would say tough because I come from comedy, and this was my first time trying to tackle anything drama related, and this whole film is drama, and so. I would say it was really tough for me to dive, head first into drama, not knowing or have not maybe not having the confidence that are these scenes correct? Is this the way that we should be portraying Myles here? So stressful, rewarding, but also just a great learning experience. And yeah, I really have no regrets. I mean, it was a great experience.
Well, let me wrap it up with one last question because now you have Breakout under your belt, and I'm assuming that you want to do this again. So, what's up next with you? Or are you going back on the comedy circuit?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely doing comedy. Doing stand-up was the first thing I did once we wrapped filming. I felt like I had to get back to comedy, and that's what I want my next short is definitely going to be comedy. I'm going to take a little break from drama for now, but yeah, I definitely I think if there's anything that came from this from a filmmaker's perspective, I think it really let me know that I wanted to make another film, and I definitely wanted to be comedy, be more fun, and kind of get to my roots in terms of writing. And so I don't have an ETA yet on when that film's going to be wrapped, but I'm hoping that we have it filmed by the end of summer.
Most excellent. Jake, thank you very much for speaking to us about your short film Breakout and enjoy the Cleveland Film Festival.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
All right,
Bye now.
take care.